I'm Lisa J. Peck. Are you a work it too hard entrepreneur? Meaning you work and you work trying to blast through your to-do list, but you feel like you're getting further and further behind? Before you answer this, I want to tell you a story. There once was a man who went and visited a Native American chief. This man went to seek if he could find how to be more in tune with himself and his life. So he asked the chief what he could do. The chief looked at the man with a scowl on his face and said, "You know what? You Americans, you're so weird. When you have too much to do, you start working harder and harder and harder trying to blast through your to-do list." "When we in our tribe have too much to do," the chief said, "we go and we meditate for an hour or two." The reason I share this with you is how many of us are like the American who tries to get on top of their to-do list by rolling up their sleeves and working harder. How many of us would benefit from taking some time and becoming aligned with ourselves? Before working harder, think of the value of taking time to figure out what your top goals and your top objectives are. How many of us would do things more systematically, be more on purpose, and waste less time if we were clear on what our best steps were to take? This video is not about gathering more information, working harder, or never getting to take that well-earned nap. This video is about taking the time that will reduce stress, gain clarity, and have you feel more on purpose, getting the results you want more of the time. So many entrepreneurs go into business because they have a message, a tool, service, or life experience that they believe deeply will help better the world. They have a burning desire to help other people, but most people haven't been taught how to have peak business performance. When they hear peak performance, it sounds lofty and out of reach, but I'm here to tell you that peak business performance is not only for other business people, but with small changes, it's doable even for you. I have worked with over 100 entrepreneurs like yourself, and I have found that success is possible and is much more likely if you go about it in a way that is comfortable for you. I want to go through the 5 mistakes that hinder entrepreneurs from stepping up into their potential. Mistake number 1, gathering too much information and not implementing the information you have already gotten. Now, chances are you think you need to have a blog, an email list, utilize your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, have marketing strategies, sales strategies, write articles, update website, etc. You get my drift. So what typically happens is the entrepreneur hears about one thing and they start trying to figure it out, and then they hear about another thing and they go and try to do that, and then another, and on and on and on this goes. This person is running from place to place, never really mastering anything and becoming more stressed, not getting the real results they want. Want to know the signs if you're doing this? Lots of to-dos in many different areas in your business that seems to keep growing. The list keeps growing and growing and growing. A deeper sign, you work harder and you're not getting the business results you want, or the money. Or the increased money you're making is not equal to the amount of additional time you're putting in. The problem is when you make decisions based on what you should do or you think you should do, you're not pulling inside and tapping into the wisdom you have that would shine your brilliance on your unique challenge. When you look outside for all your answers, you don't check in to make sure the wisdom matches your values, your goals, your personality, you're working against yourself. Mistake number 2, spending too much time worrying if all your efforts will be worth it. This means you have a voice inside you telling you something like, your family's going to hate you for being gone all the time, or other people are meant to be successful, not you, or you're not smart enough, not good enough salesperson, not a good enough business owner, not enough, not enough, not enough. You get the point. We all have saboteur voices, But when it gets loud enough that you aren't making those calls, talking to the right people, finishing your big project, then you know that doubt is draining you from success you could easily tap into. Imagine what you could accomplish if you freed yourself up from doubt and you moved confidently forward. Mistake 3 of the ways entrepreneurs stop themselves from stepping up into their potential. You don't know how to grow your business effectively and have a life outside of work. Now, I know the struggle well. I'm a mother of 8, and like many of you, I don't want to spend all my time in the office while my kids are growing up without me. This trap takes work and practice to overcome. Plus, it takes a willingness to readdress this issue on a regular basis. There is one thing I know for sure. You think you have the right balance, and either work increases its demand that comes with the increased success, or your children change and their needs become different, or what happens for me most often is both work and home demands increase at once. This can be enough to really unsettle a business person unless they figured out the best way to adapt to the constant change and set their business up to be able to blend with the different needs, plus have the right communication and support going on the home front to be able to quickly and easily adapt to the changes. Mistake number 4, not having the courage or confidence to take the risk you need to take. Let's face it, running a business in this current society is scary, and at times it involves taking calculated risks. How do you know when to take the risks and when to hold back and wait a little? This requires having the skill to honestly look at where you really are at, not where you think you're at, hope to be at, or omit to. Some people think they're doing a lot better than they really are, and some people are doing worse than they think. It's important before taking risks to take an assessment and know the real facts. Once you know the facts, courage comes along to help you take the next step. Mistake number 5 that stops entrepreneurs from stepping up into their potential is lack of accountability for their daily best business steps. Most entrepreneurs I know are hard workers who pour their heart into their business. It is their baby. They are driven to make a difference. But these same hardworking people have a ton of things thrown at them all day long that are important to do. Have you ever worked really hard all day long, then at the end of the day wondered what you had accomplished? What kept you from getting the real important things done? Here's the thing. If you aren't held accountable by an outside source to do the most important things, chances are you aren't moving significantly forward. For recap, here's the 5 biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make. Number 1, gathering too much information and not implementing the information they already have. Number 2, spending too much time worrying if their efforts will be worth it. Number 3, not knowing how to grow their business effectively and have a life outside of work. Number 4, not knowing how to have the courage to take the risk that needs to be taken. And number 5, lack the accountability for their daily best business steps. I used to get hundreds of emails of information and save them, hoping that I would use them sometime. And I bought program after program of shelf help. Get it? They stayed on the shelf and they helped my shelf. I was plagued with the thought that I was a stay-at-home mom and I couldn't be a serious businesswoman. I had no idea how to grow my business and be an awesome mom at the same time. I really struggled when there were big changes that happened with the kids or at work. I also didn't have the guts to get out and try. I hid behind the fact that I was a mom and I was too busy. Plus, I would work and work and work on little things that never seemed to move me to the next level. But I did find the answers, and I want to share them with you. I have published 19 books, I have done 2 radio shows, produced a couple movies, and now I get to coach some of the great movers and shakers. If I can make the changes necessary to go from mouse mom to now what I'm often referred to as a step-it-up queen, you can change too. Do you find yourself thinking, I want to make a big difference in the world. Or I want to earn enough so I can take my family on a really cool vacation. Or I want to earn enough so my spouse doesn't have to work. Then you have to be willing to embrace the fact that some things are going to need to be changed. It's important for you to realize that what you are doing isn't working until you're willing to take a different journey that might be more reflective, might get to the root of what's working and what isn't. You aren't going to see the results you want. The best way to get your business to where you want it is to make the right change. Until you make a significant change in the way you're showing up in your business, you're going to get what you always got. I want you to have the results you dream of. Time to step it up. Please comment below on what you're going to do differently today. Declare to the world you are willing to do what it takes. And I want to make a really cool announcement. Somewhere on this page, there is a sign up to my monthly group coaching program. Go to it, sign up. This is my group coaching program where we'll dive in deep on why and how you're sabotaging yourself, but more importantly, how to stop it. In this coaching program, you'll learn how to confidently go for it. Have a solid, consistent accountability for your action steps, implement stress management tools, set priorities, and meet your main objectives. Plus, you'll be coached on your questions and your concerns. You'll have the benefit of being with other like-minded individuals that are committed to having success. It will be a fun, challenging environment that will bring out your best. Go ahead and sign up right now. Fill out the sign-up sheet and invest in yourself. Do it, sign up. Plus, have a great Step It Up day. Yay!